Hi, and welcome to The Pretty Intellectual. I'm Sara Bartlett, and I'm so glad that you're here. We talk about all the things that matter to women over 40. Hot flashes are welcome, but they're not required. It's a brand new year, January of 2025, and I don't know about you, but I am seeing all the usual messaging about new year, new you, and I'm not into it. I used to be, obviously, in my 20s and my 30s. The new year definitely meant I need to transform myself from the inside out, and I'm not doing it. I'll be 45 next month, and I'm happy to say that I am who I am, and I'm good. So instead, let's talk about the chance to reset something else. Let's talk about retirement. Let's talk about money. I know. Don't leave. Don't leave. Come back. Many of us were raised to not talk about money, especially of our generation and above. I don't know if that's changing for the younger generation. I hope that it is. But I grew up a lot hearing messages about like you don't talk about money and you know I know that corporate employers especially have had policies and don't share your salary, and that's always been really taboo. Obviously that's a way to keep women especially and others underpaid. If you don't know what everybody else is making, then of course you have the opportunity to be underpaid for your work and for inequality to run rampant in the workplace. So that only benefits employers if employees don't know what everybody is making. But just to say that there is definitely an unease among, I think, our generation about talking about money. And like so many things, when you're not comfortable talking about something, that is when feelings of shame and insecurity can crop up around it. Money and retirement are parts of life, and pretending like they aren't isn't helpful for anyone. I'm not a financial expert by any means. If you looked at my bank account, you would probably side-eye me. And you would definitely not be taking financial advice from me. So that's not what this video is about by any means. My goal here really is just to start the conversation and get us talking to each other, to our partners, to our friends, and to a professional financial advisor if that's something that you feel like you need to or want to do. I know that I spent way too many years thinking that professional help, a financial advisor, was out of reach for me because I have debt, because I'm not a millionaire. But I've learned that that's not true. No matter what your financial situation is, there is somebody who can help you. And a great way to find somebody who can help you is to talk to friends, find out who they're using. Or you can also check with your employer to see if they provide access to a financial advisor. That's how my husband Dan and I found the person that we work with. Dan's employer offers access to services, and we've found that to be incredibly helpful. So I'm going to share just a few strategies that have helped me feel less panicked about our financial situation as Dan and I are planning for retirement. None of this is earth-shattering by any means, but hopefully they'll give you the confidence, if you need it, to start taking a look at your own finances and take whatever steps you might need to plan for your retirement, because we all deserve to have some peace of mind around what's going on in our bank accounts. First things first, we've got to take a look at what's going on. So where do we stand with our finances? And this isn't about judging yourself, which I know can be so hard. But it's just about knowing exactly what you're working with. So take a look. What's in your savings? What's the debt situation? Where's the money going each month? I use an application called You Need a Budget. It's an online program. It's ynab.com. And this is not sponsored or anything. It's just something that I use. There is an annual fee that goes along with it. It's less than $100. And it's something that I've found really helpful. It helps us plan our monthly expenses and build a budget and just see where's the money going every month. It helps us track our debt. It helps us see, how is our savings growing. So if you're looking for a program, that's one option. There are so many options out there. If there's one that you really like, will you leave that down in the comments so that we can all get some ideas? But again, there are tons of options. That's just one that I know and have used. But again, to start with, we're on a fact-finding mission. And it's okay if this part feels overwhelming, but remember, this is just information. It doesn't define you. Try to separate emotion from that information because that's all that it is. Because that first part of gathering all the information can be so hard. Let's shift gears. Forget the numbers for a minute and let's start dreaming. What do you want your retirement to look like? Have you given that much thought? A lot of people want to travel more. That's definitely something I would like to do. But what else would you like to do? Do you want to start that pottery studio that you've always dreamed about? Or what about building out that garden in your backyard? Do you want to spend more time with grandchildren if you have them? Whatever it is, write it down, make it real. And if you have a partner, talk to them about their vision of retirement. Are you guys on the same page? If not, that's something that you're going to want to know before you actually retire. And if you're not on the same page, that's okay. This will give you an opportunity to think about how are you going to construct your life so that the both of you can get what you want and need out of that chapter. That's definitely, like I said, that's definitely something that you're going to want to know before you are both in the house, staring at each other, retired, feeling resentment building as neither of you are enjoying the life that you had envisioned in your head, but maybe hadn't shared with one another. So, all right, get dreaming. That's the fun part. What do you want retirement to look like? I would love to know more about what your retirement plans might be. So share those down in the comments with us too. Now is the time for action. And if you are an action person, you might need to rein yourself in because I think that it's important to start small. Yes, you need to start, but start small. It might be tempting to overhaul your entire financial life. I'm going to start a budget. No more going out. Everything is going to be different. I've definitely done that, and it is a great way to feel completely defeated within a week. Don't do that. Instead, start with small, doable steps and then build on them as you go. 2 places that I suggest starting is 1, set up an auto savings mechanism. So automatically transfer some money from your paycheck into a savings account. $25, $50 per pay period, whatever it is. You will be delighted at how quickly that money kind of builds on itself and racks up. And at this point, it's really more about the habit of savings than the amount itself. You can certainly add to that and save more as you get used to it, but just start with something at this point. And then another thing to do is double check your subscriptions. Who else subscribed to Apple TV to watch Shrinking or Ted Lasso and then forgot to cancel the subscription once the season was over? I definitely did that. So cancel those subscriptions that you no longer need and watch those $5.99 and $9.99 fees pile up in your account. That will be absolutely fabulous, and you'll be very surprised to see, how much those things really are. I know that I was. At this point, you can go a little bit deeper. Once you've got some momentum, dig a little deeper. We're talking credit card debt. Tackle your high interest debt. That's a no-brainer. That's something that everybody says. If you tackle your high interest debt, credit cards, then you will save money in the long run. However, if you need a quick win, pay off a low balance card first. Dan and I have done that where, when we had several credit cards and we felt like we were not making any progress, we paid off one of the lower balance cards just to be done with one so that we could check one off the list and high-five each other and be like, yay, we did something. So, this is your money and your plan and how you're doing things. You can go rogue and do it if that will make you feel good. Pay off a low balance card and then go back to paying off one of your higher interest rate cards. per the, plan that everybody suggests that you do. Another thing is to open an IRA. So this is a good way to grow your retirement savings, especially if you got a late start on contributing to an employer-sponsored retirement program like a 401k. I did that. Oh my gosh, y'all, I thought when in my first grown-up job, I thought that a 401k was a scam. All I could see was that it was taking money out of my check. I didn't understand what it was all about. I didn't understand the benefits, so I did not contribute for much later than I should have. So, it is what it is. I did that. So I did open a Roth IRA as a way to begin supplementing, my retirement savings once I did start contributing to my employer-sponsored 401k. No regrets. It's just what happened. Moving on. When you're ready to really look at the big picture of your retirement is when a professional could really help you. So a financial planner can really help you dig into estimating how much money you're going to need for retirement. And it might not be as much as you think it is. I know that I thought that I was going to need millions and millions of dollars, and it just felt like it was going to be so out of reach. But when Dan and I sat down with our financial planner, he laid it out for us in a way that was like, oh, okay, wow, we can actually do this. And that was incredibly shocking, to be quite honest. So again, a financial planner can really break it down. And again, a financial planner has absolutely zero emotion tied to your finances, which is also something beneficial. I think that Dan and I really appreciated that, having that perspective of someone who comes in, does this all day, every day, can look at your finances, boom, 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 and just lays it all out for you, gives you the facts. Nothing but the facts, ma'am. So that was very helpful. So they can help you estimate how much money you'll need for retirement. They can help you make your money work harder with investments. I'm certainly no, investment whiz. So our planner helps us with investments. And then also he helped us plan for healthcare costs. He helped us take a look at our family health history, at our own healthcare or our own health histories, and then start thinking about what kind of healthcare costs would we want to plan for. And that's not something that was on our radar at all, but honestly gave me and Dan quite a bit of peace of mind just to even start having that conversation and thinking about what would those finances look like. So something to think about. I'm a big, big fan of celebrating your wins. So if you paid off a credit card, cheers it with your favorite dessert. Did you set up that auto savings mechanism? Text your best friends so that they can celebrate that with you. These small victories really add up, and they all deserve to be celebrated. And also remember that this is a process. Some months are going to feel great. Some months are going to feel like a step backward. That's totally normal. Finances evolve, and so do we. Talking about money can feel like vocal fry. It can feel weird at first, but it's also like a lot of things. The more we open up about finances, the more that we realize we're not alone. For me personally, the unknown around my finances is so much worse than just facing the truth. When I am in those moments where I don't want to check the credit card balance, anxiety just seeps into every part of my day, my life. It affects every part of what I'm doing. And when I finally do check it, maybe the balance is higher than I thought. Maybe it's lower than I expected. But either way, the price of that anxiety is not worth it. I can face anything when I just handle the facts. And retirement doesn't have to feel like this nebulous thing that's so far off and maybe won't ever happen. I mean, I definitely don't want it to just arrive someday on my doorstep and for me to have had no role in planning it. So, I don't know, let's figure this out. Let's figure it out together. Where are you with all of this? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you begun planning retirement? Are you retired? Do you have any tips? What's going on with you? And I mentioned dealing with anxiety. If that's something that you experience too, I will leave this video for you to watch next. It is how I found a therapist in 3 steps. My therapist is helping me deal with anxiety, and I found her before I really, really needed her. I always suggest that. Find a therapist before you really need help. I'm so glad that you are here with me in this community. I love this space and I love spending time with you. So, again, thanks for being here. And I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care.